everyone. I'm Rebecca Jarvis, and I'm here with a lot of people's very favorite shark. It's one of our favorite sharks, Robert Hejavec, who's been here in my office chatting with me on Real Biz about
this huge office.
Yeah, it's the magic of television.
Yes.
Makes everything look a little bit bigger. But we've been having a really outstanding conversation about your life, your childhood.
She almost made me cry.
I loved it.
She's asking all these personal questions.
But it was so cool because
it's so true. You're taking me back.
You're sharing parts of your life growing up. Robert, you grew up in Croatia.
In what was Yugoslavia at the time, Croatia today.
And your family escaped communism, moved to Canada when you were 8 years old, came to Canada with $20 and one suitcase, and now here you are.
Here I am. It's incredible. You know, it's funny, on Shark Tank, all the other sharks make fun of me. They say, if we want to get the ratings up, let's bring a poor Eastern European woman out, get her to cry. Robert will give her money, and the ratings will go up. But it's very melodramatic. They always call it the rat story. They've changed it into this. I came on a boat, and we were so poor, we had to eat the rats just to survive. Not true. I wouldn't eat a rat.
That kind of
I would if I had to.
I don't know, for those of you out there, you probably won't know this reference. Maybe you'll know it. Fievel Goes West. When you said the rat story, I pictured Fievel Goes West. Anyways.
Classic movie.
Random aside.
Classic.
There are no cats in America. Anyway, just had to throw that in there, because that's who I am. We were talking...
Have you ever seen a rat on the streets of New York?
Oh, way too many times. You?
I've never, but you know what Barbara Corcoran said to me? She said, on a rainy day, if you watch some of the older buildings, the older condo buildings that have the tracks, you can actually see the rats walking up the buildings.
Oh my gosh.
Is that true?
I've never seen the rat walking up. I've seen them way too close to my feet, and actually, this is the worst rat story I have about New York. My husband and I were grocery shopping. We're in the store. We've got all the food in our hands. We look down. I felt something on my foot. I looked down.
God.
2 rats this big playing on my feet. I dumped all
You do have nice feet.
I dumped all the groceries, and we ran out of the store, and we've never been back to that particular
don't go back there.
That store.
Wow.
But you know, so many things that we've discussed here today I think are really applicable to the people who are watching right now on Facebook. And you talked about the work you're doing with Deluxe. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, it's, you know, I love small business, and Shark Tank, I think, really helps to promote small business and that dream of starting your own business. I got involved with Deluxe about a year ago, and we created a program called the Small Business Revolution, which was a way to engage people who want to start a business. And we took nominations from all 50 states to nominate 2 towns, and today we're announcing who they are: Silverton, Oregon, and Wabash, Indiana.
Wabash, Indiana, and Silverton, Oregon. If you're listening, give us a shout.
And that was like
boom.
Boom. Did you see Obama do that mic thing?
Yes.
That was so cool.
At the Correspondents' Dinner.
Yes.
That was fun.
And so what we're doing is we're giving $500,000 to one of these towns. We're going to go back to the main street. We're going to renovate, and we're going to we're going to go back and work with some of these businesses, because a lot of them have struggled with people going to big box stores. We're going to revitalize Main Street USA, and not only do they get $500,000, but they get time with me and Amanda from Deluxe.
Invaluable.
Invaluable, and we may even buy you lunch. So vote.
Oh.
Everybody can vote. smallbusinessrevolution.org. And just by voting, you could win a trip to one of these towns and have lunch with me.
What? Lunch
Yes.
with you?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
fantastic.
Rebecca taught me there's no such thing as a free lunch. Viewer discretion.
Rebecca is so jaded. She's in the hard life of New York. There is so a free lunch.
I believe in a free lunch when it comes to you, because you're such a kind guy.
That's because you don't know me.
You are also, there's a book coming out. Your third book is coming out.
My third book.
You don't have to be a shark.
You don't have to be a shark.
So tell me, what does that mean, you don't have to be a shark?
So it's interesting. I think when I was here last time with you, we talked to a lot of people here in the building. We found that people have this weird relationship with sales. We also saw that when we're working with Deluxe at these small businesses, people are petrified to sell stuff because they think it's the used car salesman. You know, you got to be in your face. And so I wrote a book that basically teaches people how to sell. It's a sales book for the non-salesperson. And you don't have to be a shark. You don't have to be a jerk. It's not about becoming, meaner. It's about becoming tougher. Life doesn't get any easier. You just get stronger. So I always tell people, be you, just get stronger. Don't let the world take advantage of you. But if you can't sell, Rebecca, you'll never be successful in business. You'll have a hard time in relationships. You know that. You have to always sell yourself.
How did you learn to sell?
By doing it wrong.
What did you do wrong?
I did everything wrong. I didn't understand that it's a lot of subconscious stuff. I didn't know when to stop talking. Most common mistake salespeople make. They talk past the order and they talk themselves out of it. I didn't know how to dress. I didn't know anything.
Ooh, I want to see what you were wearing back in the early days. Do you have any pictures of that you can share with us?
Oh my gosh, you should. You don't want to see what I was wearing.
Were you wearing an old suit? Were you showing up professional or were you showing up not professional in a hoodie?
You know, it's what you and I talked about. If you don't know the language of business, and part of the language of business is how to dress, who's going to teach you? So when I went on my first sales call, a customer took me aside and he said, "You seem like a nice kid, but you look like a slob. Go buy a nice suit." And I didn't know where to get a nice suit, and there's a menswear store called Harry Rosen in Canada. So I walked in, and the suit was $500 then. I didn't have $500. Salesman says to me, "You know, if you work here, you get to buy a suit at 50% off every 6 months." So I got a part-time job selling men's clothing just so I could afford the suit. And that's where I learned a lot of the basic skills in order to read people and see what they're about and if they're really going to buy.
You were a hustler from the beginning.
I was a hustler. Well, Mark Cuban was a hustler because he knew he was a hustler. And he always says when he was 12 years old, he knew he wanted to be rich. When I was 12, I just didn't want to be poor. Big difference.
I want to ask you some quick questions about Shark Tank.
Yeah.
And then also, we're going to go to your questions too, because I'm sure there's a lot of them coming in. First off, which Shark Tank investment have you lost the most money on?
I don't remember that one. It doesn't exist. It's out of my mind. Next.
Which investment have you made the most on?
We have a couple. Tipsy Elf sweaters, probably. Relatively small investment. I think it was $200,000, and we'll do $17 million this year.
Congrats.
They did $600,000 4 seasons ago. Yeah,
not bad.
It's a good one.
Who's the highest maintenance shark?
Wow, who's the highest maintenance shark? Lori. Look at that hair. Do you know how long it takes that hair to look that good?
You have to.
She needs a little heater. She's either too cold, too hot. She's the nicest woman in the world. Hi, Lori.
We need Lori to come here and respond to that.
That's true.
I wanted to ask you that question because we had Barbara Corcoran here.
What did Barbara say?
Ago.
Did she say me?
You're not going to like this, Robert. But
What?
I have to let you respond because I said, "Who's the most high maintenance shark?" She said, "Robert. Robert, my gosh, you have to come to the Shark Tank set with one outfit. Robert brings 50."
Barbara, I like to be prepared. Don't hate me because you only own 2 dresses in the world.
But I think that actually now I understand all of this so much better because it was that early life advice about getting the right suit and sales coming back to how you look in the whole presentation.
And I like clothes. I mean, I just like clothes. You know, some guys like to dress nicely and some guys like to look like a slob, like Mark. Everybody's different.
Have you ever worn leather pants? I don't know why. You just said
Actually,
you like
I have. I wore leather pants. I went to France one time. I was in Paris years ago, and I'm standing in Paris. I should buy something really French, and there was a Valentino store across the street. So I walk in, and I'm sure they saw me coming from a million miles away. I said, "I'd like to buy something very French," and the guy says, "You should buy leather pants." So I put on the leather pants, and he's like, "You look so sexy." And so I'm like, "Ooh."
You like my credit card?
Yeah.
Yes.
They were thousands of dollars. I still have them.
That was an amazing French accent.
Yeah.
I am Canadian.
Exactly. Well, it's closer. You're very
closer. Very close.
You speak a little French too.
Un peu.
Un peu. That reminded me as you were describing that I'm a huge fan of the European Vacation. The show, yeah. And
I love them.
There's this scene where the whole family gets decked out. I think they're in Italy at that point. Hilarious. All right, so Barbara Corcoran.
That was such an amazing...
That's enough, Barbara.
You said such a great story there. That was so good.
Okay, who talks the most?
What?
Who talks the most?
Barbara.
Barbara.
Barbara,
She's a big
you
talker.
cannot get Barbara to shut up. Seriously, it's incredible.
Do you have a pre-show ritual?
No. It's a very real show. We all run businesses. We do our own thing, and we just show up and sit in the chairs.
Do you listen to music on your phone?
I don't, but Damon does.
Okay.
Damon is very focused. He gets in there and he's got like this cool hip music playing, and you go by his trailer and it's like, boom, yeah. And then you go by my trailer and it's Frank Sinatra. It's
Well, and you did some Frank Sinatra dancing on Dancing with
I
the Stars,
did,
so that's
I did.
perfect.
And Dean Martin. Yeah.
What was your favorite dance?
The rumba. Kim looked amazing.
When is the wedding, by the way?
At the end of July in Los Angeles.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
That'll
thank
be
you,
fabulous.
thank you.
The event of the year. Biggest money mistake. What's been your biggest money mistake?
Credit cards when I was younger. I didn't understand that you actually have to pay them back. That was my biggest mistake. Using interest that you can't write off. Debt is good if you can write it off. If you can't, it's bad.
That's a great lesson, a great rule. Complete this sentence. You should never waste your money on...
You should never waste your money on investments and stocks unless you can afford to lose it. Biggest investment you'll ever make in life is yourself. It kills me when people are buying investments but won't spend money on furthering their career. You know, when I worked at that menswear store, the owner of the company used to have a training session Saturdays every morning. You could show up for free and he'd teach you about sales. Nobody showed up. And so I go back to work and I say to the other sales guys, why didn't you come? And they said, well, they're not paying me to learn. If you're not willing to pay yourself to learn, you'll never get ahead in life.
This guy sounds really fantastic.
He was great. Harry
so
Rosen.
Cool. Harry
Yeah.
Rosen.
Harry Rosen.
Shout out to Harry Rosen. Well, let's open it up. What kinds of questions do
We
people
have
have?
How about because you guys have to. Robert has to walk, so why don't we
okay.
like walk out and
Yeah.
do the Facebook Live while we're walking?
Great.
And you walk.
We'll
him
walk
out.
and talk.
Yeah,
You're
walk
on
and
your
talk.
way.
One of the questions that came up
Yeah.
a while ago that I really want to know is, what's your favorite food?
I love Indian food, but
Oh.
it's very, very fattening, as I've learned. I used to think that Indian food was very slimming, and I said this to a friend of mine. We're at an Indian restaurant. He said, look around. Everything's made in butter. Not healthy.
I do love Indian food.
Does speaking with your hands make you seem more powerful to others in the business field?
I don't know if that's true, but I certainly think it helps.
Are party games a good shark investment?
It depends how much you've drunk.
Do you still dance?
Yes, I love to dance. I actually danced with Kim for the first time. It takes a lot of courage for me to get up and dance with her. She's an amazing dancer.
She's phenomenal.
And people have these expectations. You actually never learn to dance on the show.
Really?
You learn a routine because it's so much pressure.
So you're not going to break out at somebody's wedding and do just whatever comes
I never
to
said that,
Robert's mind.
Rebecca. You never know. I mean, in my mind, I am a great dancer.
That's a lot of pressure for your wedding,
lot
though,
of
for the
pressure.
first dance.
Oh my gosh. We have like all the dancers from the show there. We have like all these famous people and the Backstreet Boys and Patti LaBelle. Like, what pressure?
Have
Yeah.
you started practicing for the first dance yet?
No, I'm trying to push
Do you know
that
what
off.
you're going to do? Do you know what the song's going to be?
I'm going to dance whatever Kim wants me to dance.
Good
Smart
answer.
Yeah, right?
All right. So
How
let's
do you
start
get
moving.
in front of the right people to pitch your idea?
I'm going to take this off because you don't need it for this
I don't?
part. No,
Oh.
we're good.
How do you get in front of the right people to pitch your idea? Keep trying. Just keep trying.
What's your favorite car?
That's a good question.
The next one.
The next one.
Yeah, I just
we
got-
Were go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Rebecca.
No, what did you just get?
I just got the new Rolls-Royce Dawn. It's a new convertible, and I got the first one in North America in exchange for doing a story on it. It's beautiful, stunning.
you.
Yeah, lucky me.
Wait, Robert, we need you to sign our business board.
She's going to trip.
I am
can
going
hold
to
this.
trip. Here we go.
There's
Right
Barbara. If you
Where?
want to sign it near Barbara's name, she's right there. I love it. That's perfect.
I love you, Barbara.
I can't wait till she responds.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what she has to say about that.
Okay, let's ask you something else. Here we
Which
go.
way are we
Okay.
walking out? Should we
Does
walk out
Mr.
this
Wonderful put up a front for the show?
Do you know how you got the name Mr. Wonderful?
No, please tell.
We got that on the Canadian show. One day
Tricked everyone into
he
calling
tricked
him
everyone
that.
into doing
That's
that.
interesting.
But what was the question? Is he really that mean?
Does Mr. Wonderful put up a front for the show?
No, that's the reason the show works. It's really us.
So he-
Kevin really is like that. He really is. He's pretty miserable, and we walk down the street and together, and people will come up to us and say, "Oh, we love you, Robert," and I say, "Thank you," and they go up to Kevin and go, "You're an asshole," and Kevin will go, "That's Mr. Asshole to you."
What's the difference between Dragon's Den and Shark Tank?
Money.
Really?
It's America. Everything's bigger. The scale is bigger. The pitches are bigger. The audience is bigger. They're both great shows, but the scale of everything in America
You got in front of
is
you
much
guys?
bigger.
Are they the same behind the scenes? Does it kind of have the same vibe, or is it different?
It has the same vibe, but the pressure is definitely more in America because you know what it's like to be on TV here.
Sure.
It's all about ratings.
Yeah, absolutely. If you were advising your 3 kids on where to start their next business, Canada or the United States, where would it be?
Well, I love Canada, but
Yes.
the scale of the market here is massive. I would start in Canada and I would grow into the States.
That's
Just like
smart.
here.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you can do, when it comes to building a business, sometimes you are better off starting somewhere smaller
For sure.
so you can
You
really
get a chance
gain
to
traction.
develop and then
Yeah.
go.
We can head over this way.
Wait, hold on. Let me get a good picture of you two on like a real camera.
Yeah,
Okay.
Can I give you?
You can do stand like right things.
Where's your picture up here, Rebecca?
It's over in the corner. I'm with Mary Barra, right over here. Do you know Mary Barra?
Yeah.
This is Mary Barra's first interview on the job at General Motors.
Oh my God.
So that's
She's
it.
amazing, by the way.
She is pretty incredible.
Yeah, and she really knows cars.
Well, maybe you'll
Yeah.
get a GM car
I,
next.
yeah. I did a speaking engagement with her one time, and I found her fascinating.
Yeah, she worked her way up inside of the company. She's
incredible.
totally humble, great person.
Yeah, yeah.
Want to stand with
Sure.
like, that background?
In our last live video, we got stuck in an elevator, but not this elevator, so we should be okay.
Oh.
Have you ever literally gone in an elevator, just happen to be in a building, and someone realizes they're standing in an elevator with Robert Hejavec, and they start pitching to you, and it's just ironically an elevator pitch?
Biggest difference between Canada and America. In Canada, people don't care I'm famous. They pitch me stuff all the time. In America, people pitch me stuff very rarely. They just are fascinated by the fact we're on TV.
That's
Here's a
so
good-
Yeah,
interesting.
it happens all
Here's
the
a
time.
good question. What sector do you feel has yet to be disrupted?
Healthcare. Healthcare has the biggest base, the biggest impact for consumers, and the biggest opportunity for change. And regulation is the problem in healthcare. I think there's going to be massive upheavals in that industry.
I always watch the show and notice how there are a lot of pitches where people try and, I think, capitalize on that advice. But it's difficult because of the regulations you were saying. So
Yeah, very hard.
it's kind of fun to watch, like the pitches just get pulled apart.
We don't pull them apart. We just try to give them advice.
Have you ever felt sorry after the fact, like you wanted to apologize to somebody for what you said?
No, I think I've never been rude to somebody who didn't deserve it. I always try to, I have no problem criticizing the idea, I just don't like to criticize the person. But we've had people that have been rude to us.
Yeah.
If you're asking for money, it's usually good to be nice. It usually doesn't work when you're a jerk.
You get more bees with honey than vinegar.
Did you just make that up?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm going to trademark that.
Yeah.
Well, Robert, thank you so much for
thanks for
coming
that.
on Real Business. So good to see you.
Yeah,
Good luck
thank
with
you for having
everything.
me.
Best
Thank you.
wishes. And we'll see you again soon.
We'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Robert.
Bye, guys.